Whoops, I was typing something. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the very, very, very darkest side of the podcast. And thank you. I don't need the headphones tonight. It's just me. There is no Bella. So, there's no point. You guys have all heard my monologue. You know how I read in. Tonight, obviously, I want to talk about what's going on in Iran. And, as somebody who's been there, who's gone through this, different regimes, different countries, different everything, the formula kind of plays out the same way each and every time. So I have no particular issue discussing it. Now, the thing that is shocking and not shocking at the same time seems to be the Democrat response. The liberal leadership, their response seems to it's not surprising. That's the whole thing. Part of it that really burns my ass is how unsurprising it is. They're effectively virtue signaling now, turning in Palestinian flags and picking up Iranian flags. I mean, it really doesn't matter who's on the other side. But if it's Trump or the current administration that is doing it, they're against it. It really doesn't matter what it is. I honestly think that he needs to go on live, have a big press conference, just like he did when he announced the attack, and tell people that the most valuable thing in his life is oxygen. That's it. This is what I value more than anything else is oxygen, and I will fight to make sure that everybody has oxygen, just so they'll stop breathing, because anything he puts out, they're gonna disagree with. So I got a couple of monologues. I have to do this monologue-ish, and I do want to see your comments. And I'm going to have to look through them because I don't have a bell tonight. She's got some family matters that she's got to take care of. So it's just me. And it gets kind of lonely up here. I don't know if you guys notice that or not, but it's easier to do it. It's easier to do this via teleprompter. So because I have no sounding board. There's no sounding board on the other side of this where I could say, what do you think, Bella? And get the the haha. I don't have that. So I kind of got to stick to the scripts on these things. And I hope you guys will indulge me here just a little bit. Tonight's show is brought to you by Sigia Cloud Labs, as every show is brought to you by Sigia Cloud Labs. A good way to make a business and to make a business successful is to make the business essential. Make this something that people can't live without. Now, currently they can, but that's due to a lack of education. Our contention, and it's been the whole time, is that privacy is on the uptick. And if you can agree that the desire for privacy is on the uptick, then we didn't just become essential. We became irreplaceable because nobody can do it the way that I did it. I was horsing around with the platform last night, and we'll be kicking it out to you guys here real soon. But I sent up 500 images in a single go. Click, click, whoosh, off they go. 500 encrypted images. Now sitting on decentralized storage providers, I know not where. And they're gone from the world. That is essential. That is privacy. That is a product that is purpose-built, and that was built correctly. So I'm just very excited about that. I have to give my devs a round of applause. And again, I know it's going to be a real small crowd tonight. We don't usually do Saturdays, but the bombings just started. So of course, I'm going to come on and I'm going to do my thing and I'm going to have my say, because this is still America and I'm allowed to do all of those things. And if YouTube ever takes me down, I don't think they will. I'm too small. They ain't going to bother with it. But if for some reason YouTube ever decided that enough's enough, we'll spin it up on Sigia. We'll spin it up on Sigia Cloud. That'll be our next thing. And it's can never be taken down. Even we couldn't take it down. So if we have to go that way, we will go that way. Currently, we're not going to have to. So going to start this off in 3, in 2, in 1, and say good evening, everyone. Tonight, we're stepping into something heavy. Because right now, the world is watching something unfold that looks very familiar and very different at the same time. Let me say it the way it's been showing up all over media lately. FAFO. And you know what that means. Fuck around and find out. And right now, Iran has been very good at the FA part. but they're not liking the FO part. Now, for years, let's not pretend that this just started. This has been going since 1989. But for years, the Iranian regime has played a very dangerous game. Proxy conflicts, regional influence, pushing limits, testing reactions. And for a long time, it looked like there were no real consequences. Until suddenly, there were. Now, you see pressure building, internal unrest, regional tensions flaring, leadership under stress, whoever the new leader is. And the question the world is asking tonight is very, very simple. What happens when a system built on control starts losing control? And here's where this gets interesting. Because unlike in the early 2000s, unlike Iraq, there's a very different tone coming from the U.S. right now. And Trump, whether you love him or hate him, is very clearly signaling something. This is not about another Iraq, not about massive nation building, not about forcing regime change through invasion. Instead, the message has been aimed directly at the people of Iran, that this could be their opportunity, a once-in-a-generation moment, a chance for them to reclaim their country. And that's a major distinction, because history remembers Iraq. I know. Got the ribbons, got the medals, got the purple thing. History remembers the cost of forced regime change, the chaos that follows when power is removed externally rather than internally. Nobody wants to repeat that playbook. The argument being made now is different. If change happens, it has to come from inside, from people deciding enough is enough. And you can feel that tension building. You see protests. You see symbols changing. You see people shifting alliances in real time. The narrative moves faster than governments can respond. And suddenly, a regime that looked untouchable looks incredibly vulnerable. Now, let me be clear. This is not me cheering for war. I've been there. You don't want it. This isn't about celebrating instability, because instability is dangerous. But ignoring reality is also dangerous. And the reality is, when pressure builds long enough, something eventually gives. Now, the other thing that nobody wants to talk about, we don't care, right? Doesn't matter. Momentum. Momentum is real. And once people believe in their heart of hearts that change is possible, it spreads. And that's why this moment feels different, because it's less about foreign intervention and more about internal pressure meeting external opportunity. Now, whether that results in real change or just another cycle rest, that remains to be seen. History teaches us outcomes are never guaranteed. But tonight, the question isn't whether pressure exists. The question is, what happens when a system hits its FAFO moment? And that's where I want to leave this little part just for now. I wanted to put a video out. This is the video. I know my editor will take care of all this stuff. But I wanted to leave it because this story isn't finished. It's unfolding live. And the world, all of us, are watching in real time. And you know good and well that I'm going to be talking about it. Now, I obviously I have another piece. This will not be a long stream tonight, guys. I will go as long as it's people are interested. I'll keep going. But the part right now that's going on that I find even more interesting, and not Iran, they had it coming. All right, look, man, this thing was inevitable. That kind of it was absolutely going to happen, and I'm kind of glad it's happening the way that it's happening now. Not that I want to be a citizen of Iran right now, but I'm kind of glad that it's unfolding now under Trump as opposed to under Biden or under Clinton or under. I prefer it be to happen under Trump because, like him or hate him, he does not seem terribly interested in long, costly, protracted wars. I know the left is going to say something different. He cannot wait to bomb everybody. I'm sure that's what's coming out, and it'll come out all week. So just pull up your diapers and listen to him because that will be it. Doesn't matter how successful this particular campaign is. And the Ayatollah is dead. All right, that's confirmed. He's already dead. So when they talk about Iranian leadership, you just got to wonder who's next. And with the intelligence that the United States is capable of gathering, ask me how I know. I would hate to be that guy. I mean, I don't think he's going to be elected. He's going to be it's you, Tomini Ahmed. You're the new leader because, dude, you're going to be dead in 24 hours. As soon as word gets out, that's the guy. We got him. We know. We have intelligence. That's where he is. That's how, he moved here. He's in this car. He's traveling at this. And we got him. He's next. So that, which is another interesting way of really, really keeping a regime destabilized, is just keep knocking off their leaders as they go. They enjoyed the fruit of it. I'll kind of leave it there. They really enjoy the fruits, Victor go the spoils, and they really, really, really kind of enjoyed all the money that was being dumped into them. I know, I don't remember what it was. Jason, if you're watching, help me out. How much did Obama give them for them to stop enriching, uranium, which they did anyway? And then the IAEA comes in there and they said, yeah, they won't let us look. We didn't do anything about that. We didn't do anything. I mean, nothing actually happened until Trump set those big stealth bombers in there and just blew the hell out of everything. So I'm just kind of curious because since '89, it's been all about appeasement. But I noticed that they were not appeased, and it was never enough. I mean, right now, I just saw a video come out of there for like an hour ago where they're still up there burning American flags. They're still up there in their judiciary or whatever the hell they have, because, I mean, it's not like what we have. But they're up there still burning American flags, death to America, death to America. You know what? Might want to be careful because America's here now. All right, look, they're north of you. They're here. And if you want to keep poking that bear when it's pretty clear that bear is not going to take your shit anymore, good on you. I mean, it's ballsy. But, the idea that we're going to send troops in to Iran, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's going to be no Iranian invasion. They knocked out all of their military. We're going to continue to strike, and Trump's got up to 60 days. All right, 1973, War Powers Act, take a look at it. He's got up to 60 days that they can continue this campaign. We got plenty of fuel. We got plenty of missiles. We can keep flying planes over there. Their air defense is destroyed. Their SAM sites are destroyed every single time, and I did this stuff personally over in Desert Storm. With the Scud missiles. If anybody remembers the Scud missiles thing, it was a long time ago. If John's watching, he remembers these things. The very second you flip on that radar, man, we're coming. It's there he is. Got him. And there's going to be nothing left. So I find it interesting. Iran's response is to shoot missiles at Dubai and Qatar and the UAE and all that other stuff. I find that's interesting that's their response is we're just going to shoot missiles at everybody. And with the talk of World War III, let me put that to rest right now. I'm dead right. I'm absolutely right. You can't really have a World War III from a single country that doesn't have any allies. It doesn't work like that. And they just shot missiles at anybody, everybody who might have been sympathetic to their cause. Do you think Iraq is going to step up and say, oh, yeah, we're with Iran? Do you understand the history between these two countries? And we're talking about thousands of years of this stuff, man. This isn't recent. So it's kind of hard to have a world war when you were on your own. And right now, Iran is absolutely on their own. And to prove it, they shot missiles at everybody. Good thinking. That's I guess that's your leadership. I would have went a different way. I mean, I'm just saying, not that I would have been there, but if I was, I would have maybe went a different way. All right, that's when you go to Twitter. That's when you go to C-SPAN. That's when you find every screaming, raging left liberal Karen that you can. Get them all over there for press conferences. And you send them out as your little Saul Alinsky army to try to sway public opinion. That's what you do. But they went a different way. They shot missiles at everybody, and I think they hit that big-ass, it's the only 6-star hotel in the world, but they actually hit it. It's kind of impressive, actually, that they were able to strike it. That's not what you do. When you're attacked, you want sympathy on your side. And you kind of went the other way. So, yeah, death to America, FAFO, welcome to it. You guys are going to have a bad few weeks. And, yes, Donald Trump has up to 60 days to continue the campaign. After that, then it's Congress, and it's a whole different thing. But I'm going to go on record just fine right now. This won't even go 60 days. This will not last 60 days. There's nothing that's going to come of this. They're going to continue to destroy infrastructure as long as they continue to do whatever. The only thing Iran can do now to stop this is to gather up the entire, the Iranian Republican Army and surround as many civilians as you can and point guns at them and say, if you don't stop bombing us, we're going to shoot all of our own people. That's it. That's the only thing that you can do. There is literally nothing else that you can do. Is take your own people as hostages. You've done it before, but that's literally the last card in the deck that can help you. So if that comes, and if that does happen to make its way out, I'm Nostradamus. Thank you very much. I'll give myself a little round of applause for that one. And yeah, that's what we got going on tonight. So anyway, guys, I do want to look at your comments. I have to take a break more often, so I can look through the comments and all that other good stuff. But you know I want to talk with you, not at you. So if you could give me just a moment here. I'm completely messed up right now, so you're going to hear some dead air, and I despise dead air, but I got to cue up another song, flip over my teleprompter, look through the comments. So I appreciate you guys joining me on a very, very, very rare Saturday night here on the podcast on the KPOD network, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
They wear their suits and tie their lies, promising gold but selling skies. Every handshake's just a chain in disguise. I see them smiling while freedom dies. Liberty or death, I'll say it loud. Won't bow down, won't join the crowd. They can take my land, they can take my breath, but they won't steal my soul. They tax the air, they tax the dirt, line their pockets while we hurt. The eagle's wings clipped by their flirt with power's poison that stains the earth. Truth's a shadow running thin. Who's the wolf who let him in? Liberty or death, I'll say it loud. The trees remember the rise, the fall, the fire in the hearts of those who stood tall. They faced the tyrants and gave it their all.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the dark side of the podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, there ain't a lot of chat going on tonight. Is it just because I'm so right? Is that what it is? Because I'm okay with it. I'm virtually right about everything, about virtually everything. So, yeah, I understand if nobody wants to fist fight over this. I get it. It's either that or you guys agree with me so much. You know, I haven't. I didn't put on the bandana tonight or anything, and I just realized why I really do that. Look how shiny my head is. Look at that with these key lights. These are all kickers. With these kickers sitting here lighting me up like this, man. Look at that. I'm like, I feel like one of my signs back there, man. I'm just kind of glowing. Thankfully, I think this one comes off a little better. I don't know, because I can't look at this and roll my eyes over here without squinting, and I still see some shadowing and stuff like that, but I'm going to go ahead and deal with it. So, yeah, one of the things... I don't think you guys have seen this view before, anyone who's been here. I put shelving back there for fun stuff, for stuff that I like in my collectibles and all that other stuff. And Belle gives me some of them, and some of them are just on me. But I don't think you guys, we ever gave you like close-ups of any of the stuff back here. Most of it's booze. The rest of it's toys, trinkets, things that are meaningful to me. Yeah. So I I hope you know what, the one thing I have back there that is interesting is I still have a bottle of holy water from my baptism, because Catholics, and that's what we did back then. And I still have that bottle, and it was the holy water that was used when I was baptized as, little baby. And I still have that up there. I still have that up there. I wonder how they'd feel about that in Iran. I don't think they would take that very, very well. The show is also brought to you guys tonight by Penelope. And I'm sad to say that I just got this bottle, and I noticed that it's about 3/4 empty. And Bella and I only went live 3 times this week. This is the 4th. Okay. Well, this one kind of counts. So I think I'm drinking too much. I think I'm kind of on it, but boy, it tastes yummy. If you haven't had the rye, the Penelope rye, man, that is definitely worth it. So give me 1 second here. Here, to you guys, cheers. Cheers to the podcast family out there. If you guys are watching and drinking on a lovely Saturday night, here you go. And I didn't see any other names. I didn't look real close. I saw Sofa Ninja, and I saw Christine. Hi. Thanks, hon. Yes, I know you're there. If you get an opportunity, you're always there. You're family. So let me take a sip, hit my smoke for a second, and then we'll move on to the thing burns my ass about this more than anything else. And it's so stupidly transparent. Everything they do is so stupidly transparent. And I actually talked about this a little bit last night. The problem with getting out of your allegorical cave. And if you haven't read Plato's Republic, do yourself a favor. Read Plato's Republic. All right, just take a look. Read the allegory of the cave, the way it was written, and see if your takeaway is similar to my takeaway. And the kicker with it is as soon as you get out of your cave and you see the world the way it really is, obviously you get jaded, incredibly jaded, because there's no comfort for you anymore. You always look and you always see what people are really mean as opposed to what they say, and it's lonely, man. It's a very, very lonely life out there. I've been out here, been doing this stuff for a long time. I've been awoke, not woke. I've been awakened. And I've been like this for 30 years. I mean, I was a teenager when I really read The Law by Bastiat, started opening up to my eyes, and then started reading Milton Friedman, and then started reading, Plato and philosophical works. And that's what did it. That's the thing that kind of kicked me out. And once you're out, you can never get back in. All right, once you're out, remember the Matrix, which was, by the way, based on the allegory of the cave in a roundabout way. But once you're out, you can't get back in. You can't, unless you're Cypher and you're willing to sell out everybody and have your memory wiped. He was a dick, that sold everybody out. I have a hard time believing anybody hasn't seen the Matrix, but that was kind of based loosely on the allegory of the cave, so you understand it. But once you are awakened, you can never go back to sleep, and it sucks because it's lonely. And you can explain things to people, and they just look right through you. They don't even hear you. They cannot physically process what you are saying, and it doesn't matter where you're right, whether you're wrong. It literally doesn't matter. You're kind of stuck, and you're all on your own. But I know that ain't the podcast. That ain't the podcast family. So here's to you guys. Cheers. Oh man, that's like drinking sunshine. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like drinking toasted rye sunshine. I mean, it is just pure joy that gets that comes out of that bottle right there. John, if you're listening, dude, I've been out of booze for a long, long time, and I know you got some planes, and I know you like shopping for really, really good bourbon. I don't even need the good stuff, bro. I don't even need the good stuff. Just a box of whatever. John's great. He doesn't drink bourbon. He's not a bourbon drinker. He's a tequila guy, and he throws these names on tequila. I guess big labels, big expensive bottles, and all that stuff. It's meaningless to me. That's it. I am asleep. I'm still in my allegorical cave when it comes to tequila. But he can go on and on talking about the different notes, nuance, all that stuff about tequila, and I'm just listening. I'm like, he sounds like Charlie Brown's teacher to me when he's doing that. Wah, 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 wah. Yes, John, that sounds fantastic. But he goes to these, these booze stores when they're having, when they have vendor reps in there and all that stuff. And he tells them what I like. I like darker. I like higher proofs. I like smoky. I like rye, and I like all that stuff. And last time he flew. It was actually funny. I'm sure I told this story, but I don't mind telling it again. Bell and I were meeting him in Lincoln. He was out there for some family business on his own plane, and we met him out there for some board of directors stuff, and he brought me a big box of booze. And the only thing that occurred to me at that time is like, John, you just bootlegged this. We just bootlegged it via aircraft. So it's not like he's smuggling blow or anything like that. But it's kind of funny the way the government might look at the same thing and say, yeah, we just bootlegged, all right, across state lines with only the original tax stamp on it because it was taxed where it was purchased. But when it was there and delivered. So I don't know how that works. I really don't know how that works as far as shipping and receiving. But to me, it seems like you bootlegged it. But he did it via aircraft in the country. So it kind of seems a little bit cooler. There's a great Stephen Stills song. I don't even know if it was his by itself, but look it up. Do yourself a favor. Look up a song called Treetop Flyer. And it was by Stephen Stills, and he recorded this a long, long time ago. I don't know if that was a cover. Most of the stuff on that album were covers. So this one might have been. I cannot tell you who the original artist was. But if you want to get a good sense of this fella, listen to the song Treetop Flyer. Just listen to the song. You'll get it. John, if you never heard it, I'll send you the link afterwards because this guy, he could do it. I mean, this guy could absolutely do it. He's scary, man. He does that formation flying, that crazy shit where the wings are like 2 feet apart and they're still going, 300 or 400 miles an hour or whatever scary shit that is. Yeah, he does that. And he's number one. He's the front of the diamond or whatever. So if he's not a young guy. That's what's kind of funny about it. Because if he misjudges, they all die. Everybody dies. I mean, that's it. I remember that it came up with, it wasn't the Blue Angels. I think it was the Air Force one, John, where he didn't quite judge and augured in, and everybody after augured in on him because those guys aren't looking at their instruments. They're looking at that right there, maintaining a particular distance. So yeah, it's kind of crazy, man, that shit that they do. All right, anyway, let me hit my smoke, guys. We're gonna move on. I think you will enjoy this one a little bit more. I hope you will. This one hits a lot closer to home for me because I've been at war, not war, physical war, metaphorical war. I've been at war with the liberal woke bullshit agenda my entire life. All right, my entire life. It's just fashionable to do it now. But I was doing it when it wasn't fashionable to do it. I'm more than happy to go to war with these guys because they're virtually wrong on virtually everything. And it's just fun having those discussions. So let me hit my smoke. You know what? I'll tell you what. 10 seconds. I'm going to go to here so you don't. Thank you. Nobody wants to watch that. By the way, I zoomed in this frame. I wanted to get a little bit of bokeh effect with the lighting, and nobody commented. You guys understand this is wildly different than where we used to have it. I wanted more of a talking head kind of thing when I'm doing these monologues, and I never got any feedback. So I'm not going to see it now. Bell will chop it over to me or whatever. But is this okay? Is this a little bit better? Do I get my point across? Do you like the frame? Are you enjoying the, again, we got the lights and the bokeh effect and all that other cool stuff because I have very good cameras. But we never got any feedback. So I hope you guys like it. Anyway, Jason, I do want this one chopped up in 3, in 2, in 1. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the dark side of the podcast, where we flip the script on mainstream madness and serve it up with a side of unfiltered truth. Now, I'm your host, Scott, coming at you live from the heart of America on this fateful February 28, 2026. Buckle up, because this one's going to be a doozy. You and I, we're diving headfirst into the hypocritical circus that's erupted after President Trump's decisive strikes on Iran. Oh, yeah. As predicted, the Democrat leadership is out in full force, clutching their pearls and wailing like banshees about how this is the end of the world. Protests are popping up like weeds in a neglected garden. And get this. Found this amazing. Folks are ditching their Palestinian flags for Iranian ones faster than you could say virtue signaling. But hey, when Iran was busy slaughtering its own people in the streets, these same Democrats were crickets, silent as a library during nap time. Now, apparently, an attack is only bad if Trump's the one pulling the trigger. Shocking. I know. But let's unpack this a little bit, shall we? Because I love to do it. First off, let's talk about the Democrat elite. You know, the folks who think they are the moral compass of the universe, but really, they're just spinning in circles. Kamala Harris, you remember her? She's leading the charge, isn't she? She is tweeting up a storm, or should I say Xing up a storm? That doesn't ring very well. I'll keep using it. About how this unprovoked aggression is going to destabilize the region and embolden our enemies. Unprovoked. Lady, Iran has been provoking since disco was cool. They've been funding terror proxies, chanting death to America, and building nukes in their backyard. But sure, Kamala, Trump's the bad guy for finally saying enough. And I will never forget her cackling laugh, which is probably echoing through the halls as she pretends to care about Iranian civilians now, after ignoring their pleas for years. And you did. You're on record. Suck it. Then there's my favorite human on the world. He's going to get an airport named after him. Bet. Chuck Schumer, the Senate's resident grandpa, furrowing his brow and calling for immediate congressional oversight. Oversight. Where was your oversight when Obama shipped pallets of cash to Tehran, funding their terror spree? Where was it? Or when Biden lifted sanctions and let them rake in billions for more missiles? Where were you? You were too busy schmoozing at fundraisers. Now that Trump is back in the White House and actually doing something about the mullah's madness, including taking out the supreme leader. And you know what? I was thinking about that. You know what the difference between the leader and the supreme leader is? The supreme leader comes with tomatoes and sour cream. You think about that and you're going to realize that that is actually pretty funny. But suddenly, it's reckless and it's warmongering. Spare me the selective outrage. It's like these Dems have a Trump allergy. Anything he does is evil, even if it's the same stuff they applaud under a blue president. I can prove this over and over and over. And how about the darling of the left right now, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the queen of Instagram activism. You can use that, by the way. She's out there live streaming her tears, literal or figurative, who knows, ranting about how this attack is imperialist and, wait for it, racist. Racist. Against a regime that's been oppressing its own people based on gender, religion, sexual orientation, and just about everything else. Little girl, when Iranian women were getting beaten to death for not wearing hijabs properly. Do you remember, Masha Amini? You were posting selfies with your squad. There were no fiery speeches, no calls for sanctions or interventions. But Trump drops precision bombs on military targets, and suddenly you're Che Guevara reincarnated. Hypocrisy much? It's almost impressive how you can flip-flop faster than a politician at a pancake breakfast. Now, on to the protests. The streets are filling up quicker than a Starbucks line on free latte day. In New York, D.C., L.A., you name it. Crowds are waving signs like "No war with Iran" and "Trump's a fascist." Fascist. For hitting back at a fascist theocracy. I want you to think about that. I want to say it one more time. Trump's a fascist for hitting back at a fascist theocracy. These are the same folks who were marching for Palestine just months ago, burning Israeli flags and chanting about, you know what they were chanting about. But now, poof, Palestinian flags are out, Iranian ones are in. It's like they're trading collectibles at a flea market or a Comic-Con. Oh, this cafe is so last season. Let's go with the green, white, and red instead. Newsflash, protesters. Iran funds Hamas and Hezbollah, the very groups behind the October you were ambiguously supporting. Make it make sense. Help me help you. You're turning in your Palestinian merch for Iranian swag because, why? Solidarity with oppressors? Or just because it's anti-Trump? I smell performative activism. And let's not ignore the college campuses, the ivory towers of indoctrination. Students at Harvard, Yale, Columbia, they're pitching tents again, blocking classes, demanding divestment from America. These kids were silent when Iran was gunning down protesters in 2019. It happened. Or hanging dissidents from cranes. It also happened. Over 1,500 killed in one uprising alone. And crickets from the campus crowd. Because apparently if it's their government doing to them, it's okay, right? Must have been a reason, right? But Trump authorizes strikes to neutralize nukes and terror hubs. Suddenly, it's sit-ins and hunger strikes. Hypocrites. You're hypocrites. Your selective compassion is as thin as a cafeteria napkin. If Biden were still in office and did the same, fat chance, because he didn't even know what year it was. He'd be napping through it. You'd be cheering him as a hero. But if Trump does it, oh, can't have that. Orange man bad, even when he's protecting the free world. And speaking of Biden, where is Sleepy Joe in all this? Retired, sure, I get it. But his old cronies are parroting his lines. Remember when he called Iran's actions unacceptable, but he did zilch? Lifted sanctions, begged for oil deals, let them arm Russia in Ukraine. Now his party condemns Trump for actually enforcing red lines. Because Obama had the chance. It was his red line. And when they crossed it, what did he do? Moved it back. It's like they're allergic to winning. An attack is only bad if Trump does it. That's their motto. If Obama droned a wedding party, it was precision kinetics. And you know where I got that from? The press release. Precision kinetics. If Trump takes out a terror leader, now it's assassination. Double standards are so blatant, they need their own zip code. And Pelosi, you remember her? She used to be a thing, but she's chiming in too, of course. Nancy, with her perfectly coiffed hair and that gavel she loves so much, calling this dangerous escalation. Escalation. Iran escalated when they launched missiles at us last week. Remember? When they funded Houthis to sink ships in the Red Sea. Do you remember? No. You were too busy ripping up speeches to notice we haven't forgotten. Now she's preaching peace while ignoring Iran's slaughter of its own. In 2022, during the Woman Life Freedom protests, thousands were arrested. Hundreds were executed. Where was your condemnation then? Where was your tweet? Where was your press release? Ha! You saved your fire for January 6th hearings. Priorities, right? Am I right? You know I'm right. Media's in on it too. CNN, MSNBC, the usual suspects, hyperventilating about Trump's war. Anderson Cooper looking oh so grave. Rachel Maddow theorizing conspiracies because that's all she's got left. But when Iran was massacring Kurds, massacring Sunnis, ethnic cleansing in their own borders, these networks buried it on page 47. There were no primetime specials, no teary interviews. But Trump strikes military sites, wall-to-wall coverage of innocent casualties, which, by the way, are minimal thanks to our tech. It's almost like the media's in bed with the Democrats. Wait. I'm sorry. Who am I kidding? They are the Democrats. And the flag swap is priceless. These protesters, many funded by dark money, Soros types, you know, we're all in on Palestine, blocking bridges, harassing Jews on campuses. Now Iran's the flavor of the month. So turning in Palestinian flags for Iranian ones at what? A protest swap meet? Honey, this one clashes with my Che shirt. Let's get the Lion and Sun instead. It's not solidarity. It's trend chasing. Iran oppresses Palestinians too, through proxies. But facts don't matter when you're anti-America, right? If North Korea got hit next, they'd wave Kim Jong-un flags. And you know it. It's pathetic. But let's zoom out a bit because I got some time. Why the hypocrisy? Why? Because Democrats thrive on division. Trump uniting allies like Israel, Saudi Arabia against a common foe? Can't have that. It's better to condemn, better to protest, simply better to virtue signal. When Iran slaughtered 500 of its own citizens in 1 week during protests, documented by Amnesty, Dems said nothing. Didn't say a word. Too busy. But Trump ends the threat. Apocalypse now. An attack's only bad if it's Republican-led. Yet it works. Protests are escalating. Reports from D.C., thousands marching, some turning violence. Chants of hey, oh, yeah, of hands off Iran from the same lips that ignored woman, life, freedom, and you did. Flags waving, Iranian pride, but no mention of the regime's atrocities. It's like supporting the Nazis because you hate Churchill. Snortworthy. Now, to the Dem leaders, your condemnation is as genuine as a $3 bill. You're not pro-peace. You're anti-Trump. Your protests, manufactured rage, flag swaps, fad activism. Folks, this is why I hope you guys continue to tune in here, because I call out the bullshit. Trump did what needed doing. He neutralized a threat. He gave Iranians a shot at freedom. He gave Iranians a shot at freedom. And what do the Democrats do? Whining from the sidelines. But hey, you know what? Keep protesting. Keep condemning. Just know that history will judge you as the enablers. When Iran was slaughtering, you snoozed. Now Trump's acting, you're apoplectic. Partisan much? Going to wrap up this little snarky bomb. Dem leadership, hypocrites extraordinaire. The protests are performative. Flag turns are laughable. Attack bad only if Trump's finger on the button. Thanks for joining the dark side. Drop the thoughts in chat. Stay snarky, stay awake, and I certainly appreciate you guys tuning in here and enduring this. It'll go nowhere, but I got to have my say, and that's all I was really looking for there. So with that, guys, I'm going to look through and see if I have anything here. I don't think that there's going to be a whole hell of a lot of comments. Let's see. From G. Torres, is this 1 week war or long war? Long war. What'd you say, Scott? We're going to maintain, now that we're there, and dude, I'm just basing this on history and my own military service. Now that we have air superiority, and we will always have air superiority, there's nothing they can do. If they take one of those planes out of the hangar, that fucker's gone before it even gets off the ground. Sorry, man. These guys are pumped up. We haven't got to bomb shit in a while. And now we do, and you got a whole country to do it in. So they're looking for military assets, any kind of military assets. I could tell you some stories of what I used to see in the CIC. I was on two ships, Aegis cruisers. One was called the Bunker Hill, and one was the Mobile Bay. And I would hang out in the CIC. They didn't care if you hang out in there as long as you're not in the way. And I would watch the big displays of us launching Tomahawks and seeing what the Tomahawks see. I could tell you some stories that would really make make the hair on your neck stand up. But now that we have air superiority, we'll maintain it. That's it. That's all we're going to do is maintain it. Targets were identified long before. You guys have no idea our intelligence and what we can do with drones and all that other good stuff. Drones, satellites, imaging, the stuff I used to do just listening. We know where everything is. We knew long before we launch it. We don't go in and say, hey, let's figure it out. All right, it's figured out before we even launch. You don't want to fight a war with even odds. If you're fighting a war with even odds, your tactics suck. We don't do that. America doesn't do that. We use overwhelming force. That's what we do. So now that air superiority is achieved over Iran, and it will be maintained over Iran, dude, we got two super carriers right there. You don't think that we got fuel to burn? We got plenty of fuel to burn, and we're just going to be doing all that stuff. I think everything that Trump said, I think he believes. All right, it's up to the Iranian people. We will not put boots on ground there. It's not our business to put boots on ground there. But as long as you got a leadership cast on that side saying we're going to build a nuke, hypersonic missiles, and we're going to blow up the United States, eventually the United States is going to go, all right, that's enough, man. All right, let's knock you back to the Stone Age a bit and let you sort it out from there. But everything that they wanted, the Iranian people. I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about the fucking Ayatollahs. All right, that guy needs to fucking burn, and I hope he is right now. But now that they've given an opportunity to do what they've been asking to do, they said, we want America's support, so you got it, man. Look, military assets are knocked out. Planes aren't going to fly. Nothing is going to fly out there. So as long as we're going to maintain it, and we can maintain that indefinitely as long as we have gas, nothing's going to fly, and it's going to be kind of mellow, man. Anything that spins up, any SAM site, surface-to-air missiles, anything that spins up out there, as soon as the radar goes live, we're triangulated. We know where it is, and 3 or 4 different fighters plus a Tomahawk missile is on its way. We only need 5 seconds. You spin it up for 5 seconds. That's long enough for that thing to go around the board once. You spin it up for 5 seconds, and that's it, man. It's done. Everything's on its way. So we're going to maintain the cap as long as necessary, or at least up until 60 days. After that, it's going to go to Congress, and which is funny because even though the Republicans control the House and the Senate, they'll claw it back. So he's got 60 days. All of this is going to be over within 60 days. Guarantee it. Hope that answered the question. And I did see all of one more. Let me see. This one is from Ralph Spinks. I haven't seen you, bro. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for stopping by. Is it normal that I don't have access to my Siggy account? I sent a message to the customer service, but they never answered. Totally normal right now, bro. We had to effectively rebuild the entire system due to our audit report, but the system is rebuilt. Ralph, look, man, you and I go way back. You're part of podcast family, so we're going to make sure that you're well taken care of, bro. Right now, we're still kind of in the rebuilding phase, and effectively nobody is monitoring that email because up until just recently, that email was broken. We didn't even know it was broken. So anybody who is sending anything to info or contact at SigyaCloud.io, they just got bounced. We didn't even know it was broke. I was hitting up people. Hey, is anybody getting anything on this email? Nope. No, there's nothing there. So we didn't know. But we got it now. The new system is beautiful, man. It's beautiful. We've stripped away so much of the bullshit that was on there. I think you're going to enjoy it. I think you're going to enjoy the next one, Ralph, so we're going to take care of you. All right. Anyway, I don't see anything else on there. So I certainly appreciate you guys tuning in. And I'm going to go ahead and kank it just a little bit early. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. All right, man. Look, it's tough out here. If you think you've seen tough, you really haven't yet, man. But it's coming. This is not what you think. The whole Iran thing, this is over in 60 days. All right? It's over inside of 60 days. They'll keep the cap and keep the pressure up there for 60 days. But as soon as Congress gets its teeth into this, why they continue to apologize for Iran, I don't know how better to say it. Have you guys ever seen a stoning, a real stoning like they do in Iran? Have you ever seen it with your own eyes? Would you like me to describe it to you? Because it will fucking haunt you. Haunt you. I had to watch. That's what happens over there. Remember what Iran looked like in 1979 versus what it looked like in 1989, and shut your fucking mouth about how you know everything that's going on over there. You haven't seen shit. Go over there and take a look for yourself. This is a good thing. Knock that shit out. Let the Iranian people decide how they want to be governed. That's the right answer. Anyway, sorry about that one, guys. It burns my ass, man, because I've been there. I've seen this shit. I've been doing 26 years. I've seen all this shit. I've seen how it starts, and I've seen how it ends up. And I'm just so sick to fucking death of Twitter experts that are going to suddenly, they're military experts, and they're going to come in and talk about all this other shit. You have your head completely up your own fucking ass, and it's probably best that you just back away before somebody like me breaks out a little bit of reality stick on you. I don't want to bother with this shit. I really don't. I want to build apps. I want to give people privacy. I have enough trouble with my own government that I need to really get involved with somebody else's. But when it's this obvious and this transparent, and you are that fucking stupid on the other side, how can I not point that out? Anyway, guys, appreciate you sticking around tonight. It's Saturday night, man, and I wanted to have a fun stream. We were going to have a fun stream. It didn't work out that way. I didn't get the memo that we were going to start bombing Iran. I didn't get it, man. They didn't include Scott in that one. So, but I certainly appreciate you guys sticking around for that. So, anyway, going to catch you back up on Tuesday. I'm not going to go live tomorrow night, man. I've had enough for this week, unless nukes start dropping, in which case I'll go live if we still have power. But I'm gonna do a whole bunch of nothing tomorrow. I'm gonna be introspective, go to church, and just pray my cares away. So appreciate you guys sticking around. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or observations, I'm always available, either on the podcast Discord or directly at scottacast.com or Scott at Sigia Cloud, one word, Sigia Cloud.io, and I answer every email because I just don't get that many. I appreciate you guys' support tonight. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And we're going to catch you next time. Cheers.